Hello everyone, welcome back to a new episode of The Sea Will Claim Everything. Last time we left off, we were here at the Eastern Cliffs, and I think I basically just showed up here and it's just this screen. I also think I got a quest update last time. Orthos once peed here, and a two-headed flower grew. Disgusting. When there's a strong wind, these flowers can take off and land anywhere they want. This flower is enjoying the gentle wind of the from the sea. Baltrocchon enabled. Smell the day fear. Oh, sorry, you startled me. Ulyss, it's not safe in Aftonia anymore. Mayor Krennion said we were in danger of anarchy. I'm scared. Athanasia. She's crazy. Her head is full of radical ideas. She doesn't understand how quickly civilization can fall apart. Soon we'll all be at each other's throats, the street burning, children being sacrificed to dark anarchist gods. Huh? You mean if we overthrow the current abusive government? No, I think that's fine. I think they're just filling your head with those ideas to try and create a boogeyman that you should be afraid of instead of paying attention to they're the ones that are actually destroying your life. Okay, bye. Is that it? Mayor Krennion said we were in danger. Yep. You're fine. You're fine. Please pay attention to the person that's actually subjugating you. So yeah, that was here. I found something there. Like some kind of update. Return to thee with the bad news. Get a translator for the doctor. Get the ingredients. Okay, there's not much. Yeah, I think there was something to do with you maybe, but... Hello. Seaweed, shells, and some kind of goo whose origins you almost certainly don't want to know. Looks a bit like a Murgle Narg shell. Radioactive bivalve shell. Its half-life is surprisingly long. The shell once fell into hell, but it turned out well. Polyp of the horrendous face-eating jellyfish. Two petrified shells that are stuck together. You wonder how old they are. Thousands of tiny crab-like insects are eating the seaweed of this shell, off this shell. These are not the shells you're looking for. Or the droids. This plant is called Oliver. So I'm guessing we need to come here for another reason at some point. Like we don't currently have the quest objective for... Oh wait, no, there's another screen. Okay, never mind. The mussel that this belonged to was called Gordon. Strange name. The shell belongs to a hermit crab. Hey, it's the exoskeleton of a dead invertebrate. Isn't that romantic and beautiful? Is that an isopod friend, or is that like a horseshoe crab? A crab stole the shell's description. Dudachum? Beach. Didachick? Mr. Crab. Dodachok? Nemocine shell. Dadacham? Isle of the Sun. Dedachek? Timber Tyrant. Dumachum. Smell of the day is fingers. Remains of a sea urchin. Don't worry, it died of natural causes. Shell of a Laconian nut mussel. This was produced by Cthulhu's pet catfish. The shell exploited the Ogoni people and killed Kin Sarawiwa. No, wait, that was the other shell. Well, I don't want to... Can I destroy the shell that exploited people? These shells are covered in broccolitic algae. To you, pretty shells. To an octopus, the remains of a meal. To a mussel, murder scene. Weird sea stuff tends to accumulate around these rocks. Is that the shell? That's the Nemocine shell. Sick. Baby sandworm under this shell. A very smelly shell. A dead mollusk. Everything is covered in slippery algae that smells of peaches? You'll need these. You'll just carry them around in your inventory for months until they break. Nothing interesting there. Well, a tiny insect that looks a bit like a miniature lobster is eating some algae, but that's it. A melpomene shell. The poor mussel died a tragic death. The shell smells of peanuts. A limp limpet. A lecherous limpet. A tiny rock snake known for its enthusiastic efforts to become a musical star. So this is a flaccid limpet, and this one's horny, is what you're saying? Okay. So... Return... Got the ingredients for the potion of recovery. So the shell must have been needed for one of those. Find all the tokens of the tomb of the Timber Tyrant. Yeah, that's something. Hills of Helios? Here we go. What else do we have here? Tourists are often surprised to see cactuses growing on the Isle of the Sun, but they are indigenous. This tree has stood here for more than 2,000 years. It's older than many legends that you would consider ancient. Flowers share a complex root system and a simple description. That they do. Never trust these trees. What did those trees do? Oh? What was that? My phone just went off? Oh, it's probably my phone dying. Yeah. I think my phone had like very little charge. So gotta plug that up. Hello campsite. Int poo is great for making fires with, yeah? Remains of a meal involving corned beef. A tripoddy stool. Tripoddy is a word now. Magical radiation in Macauna Wizardry by Linga the Surprisingly Smooth. Moab is my wash pot. Wash harder by Stephen Fry. This box contains soil and water samples. A zinc lantern. I just realized Stephen Fry, isn't that a comedian? Isn't that a comedian in the UK, I think? I want to say yeah. Was that the one on Whose Line Is It Anyway? I don't remember. I'm uncultured with these things. A zinc lantern. Toilet paper, the astute camper's most important resource. Terrible things have happened to reckless fools who did not take enough with them. There's nothing except a sleeping bag in there. Okay. So somebody had some corned beef. Hello! You found Niamh. She appears to be unharmed. Flower had an affair with a botanist once, and did it with some kind of pun. That's a reference or a pun I'm not understanding. Smell these flowers are said to make goats sneeze, but only on Sundays. Hi! Niamh! Hello! Smell of the lavender. I'm okay. There's nothing to worry about, though it's very sweet of thee to send you. He has enough on his mind. He doesn't need to worry about me. I'll be home soon. Thee. Has he told you the story of his name? No? I should have known. He doesn't want anyone's pity, worries about being seen as one of those people who use their personal tragedies as rhetorical tools, but it's worth knowing. I'll tell you on the way to Underholm. Hills of Helios. Beautiful area, isn't it? We came here with thee a few years ago, spent some weeks camping under a tree and cataloging the wildlife. That was one of the most romantic times in my life, I think. Love, science, and sunshine. What else do you need? Readings. I have to analyze the data further before I can be certain, but looks like Lord Urizen's ship is leaving quite the trail of pollutants, both magical and otherwise. If just one ship can do so much damage, I shudder to think what will happen if his proposals about new factories and mines and shipping lanes are implemented. The technologies he is using may be profitable, but they're ridiculously primitive and destructive. Manan? My grandfather? I don't know how to help him. I try to talk to him, but his despair runs so deep. I don't know if there's anything anyone can do until the world changes. Translator? I'm sorry, it's broken. I tried talking to a polyphonic screegfish and it couldn't handle the input. I'll repair it as soon as I'm back in Underholm. Help. Could certainly use your help. The pollution and magical disturbances I came to measure are far more widespread than I thought they would be, which is why I've taken so long. If you could nip over to a couple of places and take readings for me, I'd be very grateful. Yeah, I've set up the quadricorders, so all you need to do is press a button. I need readings from Thera Beach and Mataki Beach. They're on opposite sides of the aisle. The two that I went to. I got a quadricorder. Alright, thank you. I should probably examine this. Hear a wind from your earliest childhood. The shell's smell keeps changing. No, that would be silly. Mouse claims to hear the sound of laughter. Where was, there it is. Very complicated device for scanning any kind of environment. Don't mess with the settings. All readings within normal parameters. Whoops. That's because I touched it. I should try to sniff it. It smells of technobabble. The ionic particle matrix shield prevents you from eating the quadricorder. Quadricorder detects the mouse's life signs. Okay, and I still... Yeah, my inventory is getting quite large now. Okay, so yeah, these two beaches. Boop. Detecting. Do I need to do it somewhere else? Like on one of the other screens? Let me do it on all of them. All within normal parameters. Okay. What about Mataki? Oh, this one I haven't been to. That was the cliffs that I went that I saw the turtle. That's right. So this is a new location you added. Plant originally grew further down, but after the last storm, it decided to move to a safer location. Plant's living on the edge. Appears to be a relative of the Backenbush? Getting at the berries probably requires a very special kind of shtick. Funny. I'm gonna use the thing. Oh, 74 pollutants detected. Elevated levels of ionic radiation. It's a cave in the cliffs. Shell contains a hermit crab. The hermit crab wants to be left alone, thus the whole hermit thing, so go away. Shell's small. That's about it. Calliope shell. There's a poet crab inside it, working on its new epic about Bob the Spider. I've mentioned this before, but I've heard this pronounced both Calliope and Calliope, specifically from like a VTuber who talks about another VTuber that has that name a lot and says it that way. So I think it's I think I've looked it up before, and it's one of those. Like, it's fine, but yeah. This plant is. These things are capable of growing on just about any surface. These plants are debating whether yellow or red is the more natural color. This mushroom is part-time shepherd. Oh god, hi. Okay. There's an enormous one-eyed man in this cave. Why are you examining the mushrooms? Platonic plates. Water in this watering can contain extra nitrogen, which helps the plants grow. I mean, this seems like a pretty friendly Cyclops. I mean, I'm not like Odysseus or anything. Dealing with Polyphemus. The eyeball is eyeballing its one-eyed friend. The Odyssey, Facts and Fiction by Odysseus. Interesting. Ulysses by James Joyce, readable version. Ah, James Joyce. That's the one that wrote those, like, very raunchy letters, right? You're Not Nobody. Inspirational poetry by Polyphemus! There you are. There you are. Cool. I actually have an interesting historical fact about Polyphemus specifically from my Emperors of Rome book that I'm reading. Apparently emperors in a lot of their dining areas would have murals or statues depicting Odysseus with Polyphemus. And basically it was supposed to symbolize that when you're dining with the emperor, you are always at the risk of being poisoned, just like Polyphemus was, and murdered. Like, you should always be wary of the food that you have put in front of you in, you know, ancient imperial Rome. Which is interesting. Like, they would put it there as like an intimidation tactic almost. It's like, you know, there's this statues with this well-known story of Polyphemus getting tricked by Odysseus and murdered. And it's just like, yeah, that could happen to you, be careful. So it was a sort of power play at all of them to remind everyone there that no one is safe to poison or being tricked, effectively. Which, interesting. I just thought it was an interesting little historical anecdote. These mushrooms are distantly related to the Persian longhair. A pitcher and a glass, not for drinking, but for eye drops. Bread and cheese, for when there aren't any sailors to eat. Candle is a traditional Cyclopean delicacy. It all began when tasty explorers carrying candles first entered the caves of the Cyclops. Good day, little one. Ide Lubin, smell the day. Vasilis the Cyclops. I live in this cave. I live a simple life with only my pet eyeball George and a few good books for company. Don't understand, you little ones. You're always fighting each other. Relax. Live a little. Help. No, I don't need any help, thank you. I just live here. Timber Tyrant? Did you know that Timber Tyrant was only a nickname that his enemies came up with? It was just a bad pun, nothing else, but now no one remembers his real name. Ironic, isn't it? So much bloodshed and all that anyone remembers is a silly joke. Interesting. Thank you. Do I need to... Yeah, okay, so you just need to use it in one area, basically. I don't know if I'm going to need to come back to you at any point, or if you're just, like, you know, just hanging out there just cuz. Here you go. Readings. I have to analyze the data further, but it looks like... Translator... Wait, didn't I do it? Get the translator device. Yeah. Translator. I'll repair the citizen back in Underhome. If you can nip over... Here, I've set up quadricorders, so all you need to do is press a button. I need readings from Thera Beach and Mataki. I thought I checked... Oh, Thera. Oh my god, I went to Cockley. Description of this flower seems more textural than usual. Strange, isn't it? It's a gateway stone. Better leave it alone or you might end up getting into boulders, monoliths, or even hard rock. These two flowers smell intensely of magic. I could swear this flower was looking at you. Was this talking about... Yeah, a gateway drug. Gateway stone. Dare to be against stone. Let's see. God, Dare was so stupid. 118 pollutants. Alright. It's polluted as shit. Let me tell you, girly. Excellent, thank you very much. Let me know when you're ready to go. Have I seen everything? don't think I need to get back to Aftonia. So, yeah, sure. Ready. Let's go. I like the Isle of the Sun, but I've got work to do, and I've missed my boyfriend. Speaking of which, I should tell you the story of how he came by his name. I think it matters. He was born to Moira and Robert Mysteriousstrude. Moira lived in Underholm, and Robert was a traveling healer. They met in Port Dara, which was a very small village then. They fell in love and remarried the following year, Robert taking her name. Another year later, Thea was born. It was the custom of the people of the Isle of the Moon to hold a naming ceremony for each child. And until the ceremony is held, the child has no true name. It was at this ceremony that disaster struck. The Master of Ceremonies, who was Moira's grandfather Rupert, had just begun writing the name the parents had whispered to him. It began with the letters T-H-E, perhaps it was Theodore, or Theodosius, or Theophilus, but suddenly a terrible sound was heard. It was the island of Caliste, which is now more than a skeleton. But then there were many towns and villages, and all were lost when the volcano erupted. Yeah, we heard about this a bit earlier. No one had known what terrible forces lay inside that beautiful island. Moira and Robert knew that a grave danger now threatened the Isle of the Moon. They returned the child to Underholm and made haste for Port Dara to warn the townspeople of what was coming. They were right. The waters rose and nearly destroyed Port Dara. Is this supposed to be, a reference to the popular Japanese painting, The Wave off the coast of, I want to say like Onishima? Probably butchering that. But it looks similar. I mean, it's just a wave, to be fair, but still. Many lives were lost, but many more would have been lost without Moira and Robert. This said, they raised a barrier of magic to protect the village and beat back the waves. Together they stood in the harbor, holding each other's hands, and it seemed to those who saw them that nothing could defeat their love. But the sea is ancient and powerful, and we are nothing to it but grains of sand. And so the sea claimed Moira and Robert, as they say it will claim everything at the end. No one ever learned what name the child was that had been given, except the 3 letters that had been written down. Moira's father too was lost, though some say he threw himself into the waves when he heard of his daughter's fate. And so the child was raised by Underholm and its creatures, who know little of the way of humans and simply called him Thee. Later it became a point of pride and amusement to him, though also a reminder of his loss. That's the story. What matters most to me, of course, is that he became a good man. He became the man I love. Oh. Oh my god. It was cute that we were actually traveling the entire time there too. So, do I want to go follow up on this stuff? I should probably get the device from you. Would probably be a good thing to do. Don't need a lot of this stuff. Let's just go to the 3rd floor. Not here. Or here. Here you go. Hello there. I'm home and I feel a bit better now. Here you go, understatement of the week. Foreclosure. I was afraid this would be the answer. Been coming for a long time, but I was hoping I wouldn't have to get involved. I was hoping I could mind my own business, take care of Underholm, figure out the many things about it that I still don't understand, but I was foolish to think. If I ignored the world would ignore me. Sea connects everything, as a poet once said. If we wish to save Underholm, we must save the Isles. I'll have to think. Meanwhile, my friend, do what you can for the people of this unfortunate realm. Aftonia. Do you enjoy Aftonia? I always find it incredibly relaxing. Something about sea and sun in just the right amounts. Once actually fell asleep in the harbor after a hearty meal in old Antigone's tavern. Seagull stole one of my potions and grew an extra pair of wings. Okay, that's sick. Happy for the seagull as long as they, you know, they can control it and stuff well. So I need the translator to talk to the monkey. But, I don't remember exactly where... Oh wait, yeah, you were in here, weren't you? There we go, so I can now get in your lab. A book of reversed ratcheting routing planners. A book of self-sealing stem bolts. A box containing the famous retro-styled 8th season of Star Trek The Next Generation, which was only shown in the Lands of Dream. Niamh got it from Jean-Luc Picard, to whom she is distantly related. You're related to Picard? Bunch of plant fiber cables. Modified magnetomic subspace debugger. Continuum transfunctioner. Gastronomic gears. These gears are part of a vertex dispenser that Niamh is planning to build. Box of nails with rhyming descriptions. Ah, yeah, okay. So that's why all those are around. An oil can, it's very capable. Liquid objectivism. Poisonous to humans, but sometimes necessary for getting rid of really bad stains. Extra long plant fiber cable. So drawer contains a bunch of grocers who were transformed into screws. It's a long story. Bob the Spider's building his new submarine in this drawer. Niamh's toolbox. Niamh's quadricorder. Some brushes. Strangely, they're not blue and they smell of chocolate. What are they used for? Bucket of blue paint. Thermal energy focusing tool. Tank full of gas naturally produced by... You know what? Let's not go there. Oh, okay. If you say so, we won't. Thermal energy focusing tool. Okay, so we finished that side. A grumpy but kind-hearted old mushroom. A middle-aged mushroom. Niamh's collection of high-quality mithril tools. Wow. You got some, you like kind of high smithing. Mithril's like what? No, I think it's 60. Because adamant is like 70 and 80s, I think. And then I think rune starts at like 90, but maybe rune starts at like 85 or something. I can't quite remember the specifics of RuneScape smithing, and it's still very weird that it still requires so high to get to rune. Drawer contains a box of science. Unused tachyon in the drawer. The drawer contains fresh, well-oiled baryons. It's where Niamh stores a spare Brocket notation. This drawer is full of electromagnetic radiation. Contains a variety of subatomic particles. Contains fresh, well-oiled baryons. So where Niamh stores a spare... Oh wait, so that's the same drawer. Yeah, it's just the different handles. Biogenic plug board. A Phyramactal drive with an isopalavial interface. Basic tools every practically minded scientist needs. Biogenic coil. Growing these can be quite a hassle. Okay, I think that's everything. Hello again. It's good to be home. Protons. Niamh. There's a lot to worry about, but it feels good to be home again. Thank you for your help. Lee. Missed him, but he's very stressed now. Obviously, but we're always better together than apart. Machines. Machines are awesome. I love designing them, building them, even repairing them. The thing about machines is you have to understand how they work. You have to plan how you're going to use them. And Lord Urizen, for all his talk of reason and the great machine that will transform the world, is actually kind of bad at using machines. Sure, some of his machinery is powerful, but it's just so crude. I wonder if somewhere along the line he just lost his enthusiasm, his vision. Eddie. Eddie's a good friend. He may not be solid physically, but few beings are as solid mentally. You always count on Eddie. Plus, he's got an excellent sense of style. That's true. Foreclosure. Let me tell you something. If I'd been here when those goons came, they wouldn't have left this place in one piece. Thee is too kind to that sort of people, always hoping there's a way he can solve the problem without using force, and sometimes he's right, but not this time, yeah? Sometimes force is required. Translator. Here you go. Good luck. Don't try it on anything that speaks in more than 5 voices or it'll break. Avoid using it with Dadaists. I got a translator! Let me poke it. Poke. Just use the normal dialogue window and the translator will do its job automatically. Smells of lavender. So not teach you to speak new languages. The mouse says something that cannot be translated. It's probably an idiomatic expression. So now my quest log is a little bit, you know, more manageable. A little bit more manageable. So yeah, we started it because like, oh, go talk to the mayor because Underhome is going to be foreclosed on, and now we're like, defeat the Lord who is causing everyone's problems. Which is great. I love I get to, you know, screw up an asshole. Like screw this jerk. Let's see. What things might... Like, do I have the stuff I need for some of my other things now? Prune juice I don't have. Impossible Flirk. Repulsive Squish Leaf. I don't have any of that. Cheddar, liquid cheese, crab flower shell, and tremendous toadstool. Now mix the resulting cheese with pyrogenic poppy. Dog food. Something green. Fantastic feta. Mellow mushroom. The result will be a potion of Nerg, to which you must apply Saurian sausage. Okay, I don't have any of those. I can go get a banana, though. I can do that. Hello, unsquirrely stranger, you great poof. The translator seems to be having some difficulties, but there's not much that can be done. These creatures simply speak to alien a tongue. Tree. Tree has beautiful thighs. Squeevabuiki. We dream in its infinite pastures beyond sight like panties. We make bouncy squee. Okay, you're a thigh enjoyer. Valid. Subnana. You'd like to have a subnana? Subnana you can have. I will not eat the subnana. It is scratched. Ookie ookie. We live in a tree. Make ookie squeaky. Niamh, squeaky too. We like Niamh. Her hovercraft is full of eels. She give us Diki Babu Ju for breakfast. I got a subnana. Your nipples explode with the light. What? Why though? Why do my nipples explode with the light? Poke them with banana, it pokes you back. Looks very subnana-y. Not bad. It tastes like banana, but more subterranean. Shit. Can I have another? Thank you. Mal says it already had a subnana this morning. Okay, cool. Creature's too shy. Yeah, okay. Alright, we're good. I got a subnana, which I needed for one of the people in Port Dara, I believe? Isle of the Sun. Have you tried the Antigone? It's a great fish tavern right in the harbor of Aftonia. Great people, great food. I always make sure to go at least once when I'm on the Isle of the Sun. Dog smell. Went for a walk in the shadowy glen the other day and it smelled of dog, but it wasn't the regular dog smell, which is pretty awful because they don't know how to clean their fur properly. It was nice. Weird, huh? Interesting. Sword? Can hear the wind, traveler. Can hear the wind as it blows in the gray mountains when the moon in the sky and the rivers glow like silver on the plains. Can hear home. Scroll updated? I got the magic sword! Yeah, because I got you the shell. Yeah. So cool. I've been many times. Before things became as they are now, there's much treasure on that isle. Songs and poems and books of lore. Most of all, people. Whenever I was there, I missed the hills and forests of the Isle of the Moon. Underhome is a wondrous creation, a true marriage of all the great crafts. Even the maker himself would be proud of it. Shameful to think it might be lost to a bank. Ah, but the greed for gold has destroyed many things of beauty, as my people know all too well. Hello. Subnana? Ah, wild subnana. Oh, this is fantastic. Here, take the token. If you see my mother, don't tell her about this. Isle of the Sun? The Isle of the Sun is beautiful. Simply beautiful. I prefer living on the Isle of the Moon, which is more suited to my temperament and complexion. But I have fond memories of wandering the shores near Aftonia on a moonlit night, feeling the sand under my feet and listening to the murmur of the waves. Ookberries. My esteemed colleague Ookbert Appledorn suggested that ookberries help relax the mind and spur new creative thoughts. Honestly, all I got was the hiccups. But other people like them, so hey, who am I to judge? Get high off berries? I got a Narius token. Inn? Oh, I made some space for me in the inn storage room, so I have a place to sleep now. I'm very grateful to both of you. Oh, the sun? Man, I really want to go there someday. It must be so beautiful with all the white houses and the sunshine and the olive trees and the beaches and... Yeah, but I barely explored the Isle of the Moon. Mushrooms? You ever notice there's a lot of mushrooms? I have. Tiny species of mushroom. Yeah. Whole lot of mushroom. Kingdom of the Enigmatic Snakes. Yes, I went to university there at St. Serpents. Very strange country indeed, full of mysteries. Despite my time there is much I don't understand about it. I would gladly return one day. There's so much more to see. Hello. Now the sun? Too much sun. Okay. Rumors. Some claim that Bob the Spider is building a robot for Satan. No, Bob! First I thought it was just some ridiculous bureaucratic mess-up, but now it looks like they're really trying to take Underhome away from its inhabitants. It's just not right. What can we do about it? What can I do if they suddenly claimed I owed them my inn? That's why you should all, you know, come together to protect thee, because, you know, they say it's just going to be thee now, but it'll be all of you soon. First they came for thee, then they came for me. Jack told me this one. A pirate walks into a bar with a wheel between his legs. Hey, what's that wheel for? The bartender asks, and the pirate says, "Arr, it's driving me nuts." Thank you for that one, boy. I think I'll be taking my leave now. Okay, yeah, there's still nobody here. Okay. Nothing there. Aftonia? Meet Khan and Katerina, lovely people. I knew Antigone herself, you know, back in the day. Her tavern was always my first stop after a long journey. Isle of the Oracle? Yes, it's called the Isle of the Cirrus, or sometimes the Isle of the Oracle. Not sure why it has two names, but many ancient places do. I can assure you it cannot be reached by ship, at least not by one who has never been there before. I've sailed all over the Fortunate Isles and never seen it. If you ask me, the gate's somewhere on the Isle of the Sun. Okay, and nothing new from you. Progress? Making rapid progress at overturning the bureaucratic obstacles and corruption that previously plagued this island. Hundreds of new laws have been passed that will ensure that justice will finally prevail and entrepreneurs will no longer be oppressed. Thanks to our policies, a surplus is guaranteed. However, not enough progress has been made, and radical cuts will be necessary if the island is to be saved from this disastrous economic situation that we are causing ourselves and then, you know, pointing at various things in the government and saying, oh, like, that's actually the problem that's causing issues here, despite the fact that we're spending a ton of money on some stupid shit like, oh, let's give billionaires a tax cut, and let's spend money on warfare and stuff that we don't need. And, you know, sorry. Yes, we care about this issue very much. That's why we have pledged that the Port Dara Golf Club will recycle up to 50% of its golf balls. Fuck off. Hope you die. Hope somebody turns you into a golf ball hole. Dumbass. Sorry, I have feelings. I have feelings. Isle of the Sun. My great-grandmother was from the Isle of the Sun. She traveled all across the lands of Dream. She always went back to Aftonia. She said it was a new city every time she returned, yet always somehow familiar. Plural. Ah, the plural is octopuses. Only the foulest miscreants would utter the linguistic abomination that is octopi. Okay, thank you for giving me your opinions. Or your opinion on linguistics. Okay. I think I want to hop in the ship. Cause, yeah, we have a few other islands to go to. Okay, can I do it? Grar, I'm a big sea monster! Graratron. I'm Graratron, the sea monster. I'm big and scary, Grar! Well, actually, I'm just a baby, but someday I'll be huge, and I'll carry boats on my back and little islands. Maybe seals will come and play on my scales. I think the seals will like me. Smell the day, plankton. Plankton. Plankton is yummy. Water. Sometimes the water tastes bad. I don't know why. Oh. We have to save the world for you. Oh. This is that place I've already been to. Okay, so we've been to Moon, Sun. I haven't been to these two or this ship. That is a robot with a gun? It's a weird-ass looking AK. Like, that clip looks like an AK clip? Or magazine? Magazine would be correct. That's like an AK magazine. But that's like a rifle? Like a bolt action? Okay. Her Shadel's piggy bank. He's given it the name Angela Ferkel, which doesn't mean much to most people in the lands of Dream. Insidious lamp. Memory? State your business. Primus? I am a guard. Door? You may enter. Okay. Are the fascists fascisting? Fascisting? Not fascisting. Fascisting? Yeah, they're shitting. They certainly are shitting the bed on many things. Keep your hands off that. That's private property. Okay, I'm not. I can't. Okay, I can't. I'm very bad. By Thilo Sarazin. Green Bombs. New methods to stem population growth in Serbia by Joshka Fischer. Long Shadow. Culture and Politics in the Fortunate Isles by Daniel Pipes. Capitalism. Stability and Prosperity by All by Peyton Farquhar. Fuck you, Peyton. One of Hers Schadel's favorite landscapes. Moderating the Excesses of the Lazy. Lessons from the Crisis. From the Crisis by Wolfgang Schadl. You can tell it's like very late for me right now. God Wants You to Be Rich by Paul Zane Pilzer. Success System That Never Fails by William Clement Stone. Keep your hands off that. Photo of her Shadel's previous place of employment. Almost looks like some kind of holographic projection device. Energy drink that contains coffee, red wine, vodka, and pineapple juice. Ugh. Pink slime. Best Skull of the Year cup. Keep your hands off that. Gleaming glamorous glasses from the Glorious Gluttony collection. Very expensive ink harvested from Mesonychtathis. Mesonychtathis. Hamiltoni. God, that is a word. Is that like a that's gotta be like a scientific name for some sort of creature, right? Mesonychtathis. God, it's a lot. That's a word. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, we're definitely going for a certain type of speech here. Ja, wat u want? Ik ben very busy. Hershadel. Excellent qualifications for my current position. My Abitur grade was 1.0 at university. I studied, but oh god, I'm so sorry, Germans. I'm so sorry. Betrieb Schwarzschartler mit an emphasis on marketing and management. I worked very successfully in Langzeittotenbearbeitung in die Unteragentur für Sinnenlagerung until I was promoted to my current position. I believe in order, austerity, and always being on time. I'm so sorry. I apologize greatly for how uncultured I am. Your nose is an upvote. Fortunate Isles. The people of the Fortunate Isles must have to understand that. Is it that or that? They must understand us, the people of Lord Josen's kingdom, cannot keep paying the markets and banks for the laziness of others. They have a saying in my country. Work will make you free. This is that they must embrace. Book. 9. I do not have this recipe. You must have been misinformed. However, if you will fill out this 12-page application for information stand or TOF funding, we can begin an investigation to this matter in the next 3 years. Representative? 3 years? I don't know. I've seen Germans work on things before. Extremely, extremely efficient. Would not take 3 years. Well, it would for you, probably because you're intentionally delaying it, but... Certain political extremists have claimed that I do not represent all the people of the Holy Corporate Bureau. Holy shit, I've never seen something call it the Holy Corporate Bureaucraticracy of yawn. Shameless comments of this nature only shows the undemocratic perspective of utopian anti-Eurocentism. Oh god. Oh god, you're deep in the sauce. Primus, you are searching for something to help. I am programmed to be your enemy, but I am defective. Sometimes I attempt to disarm myself. I have an incorrect aversion to destruction. There is a memory in my circuits, a memory of flight. The fault has not yet been detected. The recipe you seek was not misplaced but destroyed. However, I saved this page. Take it, thank you. There's a memory in my circuits, a memory of flight? Okay, this is going to be quite a pull, but bear with me. Are you one of Eggman's robots? Because the whole thing in Sonic is that Eggman puts, like, creatures and little critters and robots, and specifically in Sonic Adventure, there's a robot that has a bird in it. And I'm like, is that a reference to this? This game has been referencing a lot of stuff, so I wouldn't be shocked, but that feels like such a crazy pull. You know? Are you E10... It's E102, right? It's E102 Gamma, and then Omega's a different one. Or no. Gamma's the new one. Omega was the old one. E102 Omega. And then Gamma's the new one, who is not the same one, despite having, like, the same color scheme and stuff. My brain as a kid always thought they were just, like, rebuilt or whatever, but... Look, I liked Sonic Adventure as a kid, okay? Primus, I am defective. No, you're perfectly fine. Don't let them tell you anything different. Love you. Just be careful where you point that thing, okay? And, you know, we should get you out of here. Okay, so the ship is just moving around. Okay, so let's go... Calista? And I guess we'll end there because I just realized I've been recording for 40 minutes. But people have definitely had enough time to vote now, so I don't have to hold myself back if I go a little bit, you know, longer on an episode now. So we're going to go ahead and save in the kitten slot, and I'll see you next time for some more.